It is a topic that was once taboo, but tonight we tackle not only the issue of suicide, but the alarming reality of just who is most at risk. Avery Haines now with tonight's Inside Story. Avery.
Well, thank you, Gord. You know, if you ask most people that question, just who is most at risk, they're likely to guess teens or maybe other young people. They would be very wrong. Tonight, the 80-year-old woman whose own brush with death has triggered a mission to raise awareness about seniors and suicide.
I'm going to get paid overtime today.
Evelyn Burns Weinrib is a fixture at Baycrest Hospital.
So it's just a 2
6 days a week, she volunteers at the cafe and spends much of her time here visiting patients who don't have the choice of life or death.
Hi there.
Evelyn.
Vibrant, articulate, and energetic, this 80-year-old is the face of a very sad statistic. This seems like it's kind of a secret in the older population.
I couldn't believe the people that came to talk to me once I spoke and admitted what I had done.
What she did might shock you.
I decided I was going to do the route my father did. When he was 82, he did commit suicide, and it took me a whole year to plan it. I rewrote my will, gave away everything valuable I owned. I picked the day, and it was a Thursday night. It was March the 1st.
When you're sitting in your bedroom, recognizing that this is going to be your last day on earth, I mean, what are the thoughts?
Well, my last thought was my father. And I thought, Daddy, because I loved him, Daddy, was it hard for you to take your pills? Because that's what he did. I had the pills. I had some alcohol. And then you put the plastic bag on and you tie the knot. I couldn't tie the knot. And I remember fumbling, and then trying again. And I fell asleep.
Evelyn woke up in the hospital very much alive and part of something that's rarely talked about but shockingly common: seniors and suicide.
Suicide in older adults is actually relatively common.
It seems to me as though this is almost the dirty little secret of getting older, is the concept of depression and suicide.
People may not be aware of it, but actually the highest rates of suicide among any group in society are older men.
It's been 3 years since what Evelyn calls that day in March. What's changed?
What's changed is that I've been on the palliative floor and I have heard younger people who know they're dying. They know they're on and yet they say, I want to live. How can I forfeit that? How can I forfeit that I have a choice when they don't have that choice?
Evelyn is now a woman on a mission. She's donated research and funding grants for this, a mental health website specifically for seniors.
There are people who are afraid to tell anybody. We've got to get mental health on the table and not under it. It will save lives and living. Not just a life, because a life is more than just having the life. It's how you live that life that's important. I'm lucky that I'm here to be able to do it.
You know, it's kind of shocking, but when you look at the issue with a little bit of depth, you understand what's going on here, because we've heard and we know that too often senior citizens are shunted aside and feel as though they don't have any value and are basically told, you don't have any value, we're going to put you in this little home over here.
And I think there's an assumption that somehow as you get older, that part of being older is to be really depressed and sad about the life that you have, that you've lost so much. And yet this really is an area where, particularly at Baycrest, is doing an amazing job, and with this website, of creating this awareness that you actually can find reasons to live and have a very productive life. For many people, it's through volunteering, as it is for Evelyn.
And she found the answer to doing that. Good for her.
If you want to be a part of this conversation, I'd really love to hear from you. I am on Twitter at CityAvery.
The Inside Story runs every Tuesday and Thursday on City News. All segments are up on our website, citynews.ca.